Today's topic is going to be algebraic division, the division of two polynomials with zero remainder. Today's topic can get or it can be a very long process, so it's very important to see the procedure that we need to do in order to do it correctly. We have 7 different steps. The first one says reorder the numerator and denominator. The second one, it says put the denominator as dividend and numerator as divisor. Step number 3 says compare the first terms and divide them. Put the term or the result term in the quotient. Then it says step number 4, multiply all the divisor by the quotient. Don't forget to change the signs of the result. Step number 3, it says do the like term simplification. Step number 6 says reorder all the terms. And step number 7 is repeat steps 3 to 6 until we got 0 as a reminder. So in this case, we will see what we need to do here. If we got this specific exercise, the first step we need to do is reorder it. So how do we reorder it? In this case, remember, because alphabetical order, the top part must be (5m squared plus 8mn minus 21n squared), and the bottom part should be m plus 3n. So we have finished step number 1. We continue with step number 2. It says put the denominator as dividend and numerator as divisor. So we can put it like 5m squared plus 8mn minus 21n squared. Then as the divisor, we are going to put m plus 3n. So we have finished step number 2. Step number 3 says compare the first term. So in this case, we need to compare m with 5m squared. We will need to look for a number that multiplied by m, we will get 5m squared. So in this case, in order to obtain 5m squared, we need the term 5m, because 5m multiplied by m, it's m squared. So we have finished step number 3. Then step number 4 says multiply that number for all the divisor. So we will get 5m squared, because multiplying 5m by m, remember we need to change the sign. It says here, change the sign. It's very important. Then we continue with the multiplication. 5 times 3, it's 15 mn. Remember, we need to put it with the different sign. So it will be minus 15 mn. The next step, it says do like term simplification. So in this case, these two of them, it's only 0. The other them, it's going to be minus 7 mn. The minus 21 doesn't have anything to be added or subtracted, so it will stay the same, minus 21n squared. So we have finished the do like term simplification. Step number 6, it says reorder all the terms. In this case, is ordered because first we have the m and then the n. So we have done step number 6. And step number 7 says repeat steps 3 to 6. So now we got to compare this term with the first term. So in order to obtain minus 7mn, we will need minus 7n, because multiplying minus 7n by m, we will get minus 7mn. Remember, we need to change the sign, so it will be plus 7mn. The other one it's minus 7 multiplied by 3, it's going to be minus 21, and an n is n squared. Remember, we need to change the sign, so in this case they're all the same one, so we will get 0 as a remainder. That means that this division, the result is going to be only 5m minus 7n, and this is going to be our final answer. So as we saw, maybe it's a very long process, but if we use this specific procedure, it will be easy to do it. It's only following simple steps to obtain the answer. Let's see a second example. So the second exercise is something like this. It's very similar. We will need to follow the 7 steps to answer it. So let's see. First, we need to reorder the numerator and denominator. So in the top part, it's going to be x to the 4th minus x squared minus 2x minus 1. On the bottom part, it's going to be x squared plus x plus 1. So then we need to put the denominator as dividend and numerator as divisor. So it's going to be x to the 4th. Let me put it here. X to the 4th minus x squared minus 2x minus 1 all divided by x squared plus x plus 1. So remember, in this case we need to compare the first terms, so in this case x squared and x to the 4th, and divide them. So to obtain x to the 4th, we need x squared, because multiplying x squared and x squared is x to the 4th. So we have finished step number 3. Step number 4, it says multiply all the divisor by this term, so it will be x to the 4th. Remember, we need to change the sign, so it will be minus x to the 4th. Then we will get x squared multiplied by x. It's going to be minus x cubed. We don't have x cubed here. That's why I put it like here, because we don't have x cubed. That's why I put it there. Then we are going to use x squared multiplied by 1. It's going to be x squared, but it will be negative x squared. So after it, we need to do the like term simplification. So in this case, this one gets eliminated. Then we need to put in descending order of powers. It says reorder the terms. So it's going to be minus x cubed minus 2x squared minus 2x minus 1. Then we need to compare the first term with the first term. So to obtain minus x cubed with x squared, we need minus x, because multiplying minus x by x squared, we will get x cubed. So in this case, we multiply it, so we will get minus x cubed. Remember, we need to change the sign, so it will be plus x cubed. Then we need to multiply it, and it will be minus x squared, but we can change the sign. Then it will be minus x, but we need to change the sign, so it will be something like this. we will need to do like term simplification. So in this case, these ones gets eliminated. We will get minus x squared minus x minus 1. So in this case, we need to do the specific process again. We will compare the first one with the first one. So for x squared to obtain minus x squared, we need minus 1, because multiplying minus 1 by x squared, it's going to be minus x squared. Remember, we need to change the sign. The next one, it's going to be minus 1 multiplied by plus x. It's going to be minus x, but remember, we need to change the sign. And also minus 1 multiplied by 1, it's minus 1, but we need to change the sign. So it will be 0. So we have finished it. And our final answer is going to be x squared minus x minus 1. And this is going to be our final answer of this exercise. So let's see, you can have as many terms as you need. You need only to follow the procedure with these 7 steps, and the process will be the same, and the answer must be not so difficult to obtain. So this one was another example. I will explain only one more example in order to you to do the activity. Let's see the last example. So in this exercise, we have something like this with fractions. The process will be the same. Maybe it can get a little tricky, but the process is going to be the same. First step, it's reorder the numerator and denominator. Then put the denominator as dividend and numerator as divisor. So I will do both steps at the same time. So the first one is going to be 6p squared minus 3/2 of py plus 1/12 of y squared, because of alphabetical order. So we will need to put the other one as a divisor. It's ordered. So we have done step 1 and step 2. Then it says we need to compare the two terms. So in this case, we need to compare 6 and 3/2. Maybe it's very difficult to imagine a number that multiplied by 3/2 is 6, but we can use the division. If we divide 6 divided by 3/2, then we will need, what number do we need? So in this case, it's going to be 6/1. We can flip this one. So it's going to be multiplied by 2/3. So in this case, 6 and 3. We can simplify it only by 2. So if we multiply it by 4, we will get 6p squared. So we will need only a number 4 here and letter p, because p and p will get p squared. So we have done step number 3. Step number 4, it says we will need to multiply all the divisor by this number. So we will get 4 multiplied by 3/2. It's going to be 6p squared. Remember, we need to change the sign. The second one, it's going to be minus 4/4 or 4/4. 4/4, it's 1. So it will be minus 1 py, but remember, we need to change the sign, so it will be positive 1. Then we need to do the like term simplification, so we can eliminate these two, and we will have minus 3/2 plus 1. So it will be minus 3/2 plus 2/2. So it will be minus 1/2. minus 1/2 of py. This one doesn't have anything to be added or subtracted, so we copy it the same. Then we need to do the same. We need to compare the first term with the first term. So in order to obtain it, 3 multiplied by something, we will need to get minus 1/2. So it's the same like this one. We can divide 1/2 divided by 3/2. So we can flip this one. We will get 1/2 multiplied by 2/3. We can eliminate it and we will get only 1/3. So if we multiply this by minus 1/3 of y, we will get minus 1/2 of py. But remember, we need to change the sign. The next one will be multiplying minus 1/4 multiplied by minus 1/3. I'm sorry, 1/3. So it will be plus 1/12. So it's going to be 1/12. Remember to change the sign. It was plus, so it will be minus. And y, it's going to be y squared. So then we can do like term simplification. We will get 0 as a reminder, and the answer will be 4p minus 1/3 of y. And this is going to be our final answer of this process. So as we saw, we can do this process with normal numbers, with bigger fractions, with trinomials, with binomials. We can apply this procedure of 7 steps to divide every polynomial with other polynomial to obtain a 0 remainder. So that was the topic, algebraic division of two polynomials with 0 remainder. If you have any questions, please let me know. And you can now do the activity that it's called the same polynomial division with 0 remainder. Thank you, and we will see you on the next one.